Stop letting bladder leaks run your life. My name is Lori, and I'm a nurse practitioner who's been specializing in urology and urology oncology for over 17 years. Today, we're going to talk about 7 myths that I want to debunk about urinary incontinence. I know it's awkward, and people feel that they just have to deal with it. And hopefully by the end of today's episode, you'll feel differently. Let's get started. Myth number 1. All urinary incontinence is the same. Nope, not true. There are 2 types of incontinence. There's stress incontinence, which is associated with physical activity. So you leak when you run, you leak with any type of exercise or jumping. Men can leak when they've had a prostate surgery called a prostatectomy, and that's all related to stress incontinence, or the physical stress that is put on your bladder. Then the other type of urinary incontinence is urge incontinence, or incontinence related to that sensation that you have to go to the bathroom. And it's important to understand that these are 2 different types of incontinence because they are both managed very differently from each other. Myth number 2, it's a normal part of getting older. Again, not true. Urinary incontinence is not something that we should all expect to get. In fact, if you compare it to something like high blood pressure, so people take medications for high blood pressure, but not everybody has high blood pressure. Well, it's very similar for incontinence. Yes, many people have it, and as you get older, there's a higher chance that you might have it, but it doesn't mean that it's normal, and it doesn't mean that you need to have it. And it's important to understand this because you need to feel like you have control to improve those symptoms, and in most of the time, you do. Myth number 3, leaking during exercise means that you have an overactive bladder. Not correct. Leaking with exercise is stress urinary incontinence. And again, it's the incontinence caused by the physical pressure on your bladder. Now, this can happen for many reasons. This can happen because you have a weak pelvic floor. This can happen because of childbirth. This can happen in men who have had prostate surgery. All these things are associated with stress urinary incontinence. Myth number 4, urge incontinence is related to pelvic floor. Not true. Urge incontinence is not the same thing as stress incontinence. It's more related to sensory, so sensation, or nerve related. And this is very different treatment than you would treat for stress incontinence. Pelvic floor physical therapy can help with urgency, but strengthening the muscles alone is not going to fix the problem. Myth number 5, if you have one type of incontinence, you can't have the other. Not true. You can actually have both types of incontinence. So you can have the leaking with exercise, sneezing, coughing, laughing, and you can have the leaking with urgency where you have to rush to the bathroom. You can have one or you can have both. And if you have both, it's called mixed incontinence. This is really important for you to understand because if you're very bothered and you want treatment when you go to a provider, it's really important to know what are the exact symptoms that are most bothersome. Is it the leaking with sneezing, coughing, laughing, or running? Or is it the leaking with urgency? And maybe it's both. And if it's both, then that's also important. Myth number 6, incontinence is a woman's problem. Not true. Yes, women have incontinence and they can have it for reasons such as childbirth or menopause or the things they're eating and drinking. But men can also have incontinence, both urge incontinence and stress incontinence. In fact, men can also have weak pelvic floor muscles, and particularly after a prostate cancer surgery called a prostatectomy, men will have leaking associated with stress incontinence. So this is not a gender-specific condition. Myth number 7, pads are the only solution. This is definitely not true and something I really want to make sure you're aware of. You don't have to live with incontinence. There are many treatment options. There are many things you can do to have more control and improve your quality of life. I always like to start with behavioral management, looking at the things you're eating and drinking, which can particularly help with urge incontinence. That's always a good place to start. You can also record when you leak if you're not sure which type of incontinence. there's bladder training, there's different treatment options depending on which type of incontinence is most bothersome to you. Urinary incontinence happens, and remember, it's not a one-size-fits-all. What's really important is that you understand what type of incontinence you have, or both, what are your symptoms, and what have you done for it. You are in control of your bladder, and you can improve your quality of life. So hopefully you have learned from these 7 debunked myths. My name is Lori. If you enjoy what you're hearing, please subscribe to my channel. And if you have any thoughts, comments, or suggestions, please let me know in the comment section.